I'm the type of person, I look into people that say that they look into shit. And I'm really good at reading people's bullshit. And unfortunately, as we continue to shift throughout different moments of life, we all are experiencing, different transitions in our personal life. I can't help but notice a lot of people who are just doing a really great job at manipulating the people. And it's being called to my spirit more and more and more and more and more by the day to speak up on this, because I keep seeing videos of people, unfortunately, who have a lot of followers, who already have a lot of influence, that are making shit worse for people by confusing them. And a lot of these people are literally spending all of their time judging other people that they don't even know. When all the actuality, like I said before, a lot of the times the things that when we speaking from our heart. We speaking from our own experiences, and we speaking from what we think about other people. That's not God. I just don't feel like that's God. God is not judgmental. If you're like, a lot of people that are trying to judge people are trying to connect them with the devil. And honestly, it's weird because the people that I see that are doing this look more demonic to me than the people that they're accusing. Now, I'm speaking very general because it's no one specifically that's coming to mind, but I can't help but pay attention to all of the manipulations that I continue to see on the offline. And it's so heavy online because why? Everybody knows that that's where everybody is. So, of course, they're just trying to, scoop up the lost people as best that they can. Everything is not for everybody, and that's okay. You know what I mean? Like, that's okay. Spiritual. To be spiritual means that everybody performs a ritual, whether you want to look at it like that or not. Whatever you do on a daily basis is a ritual. If you do the same exact thing every single day, it's a ritual, no matter how you want to look at it. And a ritual is supposed to be something that speaks to you, something that speaks to me, not joined or collectively, but individually. So when we come together collectively, we move spiritually. We move with the spirit of God. We move with genuineness and pureness and light and love. That's not judgment. Because to judge somebody else is only to judge yourself, which is just simply a projection. You're projecting your energy onto someone else. That's a projection. Because you had a bad experience. Because you got too consumed into witchcraft. Because you got too consumed into worshiping other deities outside of yourself. Because you did certain things without actually pure intentions and without truly doing your research. You are now projecting onto other people and calling them what you were. That's how I look at it. I'm so tired of looking at people and I see their ego speaking. None of us are perfect. And a lot of us are lost. A lot of us were lost. That's not lost anymore. A lot of us have ascended and don't even know it. A lot of us are stuck and won't even show it. So it's just deep to me how so many people are projecting. And it's higher now more than ever. People are like, where you go? Like, where did you go? It's like God told me, my spirit told me to fall back and allow others to see. Because a lot of the shit that people keep sending me, I already was talking about it way before now. Way before now. And I took my stuff down because it wasn't being appreciated when it was up. It wasn't being appreciated when it was up. So it's like, why leave it there? You understand what I'm saying? It's amazing to sit back and watch. It's amazing to sit back and watch. It's real sad. Because when I put my stuff out, it was to help people before things got this bad. But what I mean by that is, got that bad for themselves. I was already in the trenches, lost, and felt like I was walking through hell. So it's like, all I can do is sit back and be myself. I appreciate those who have watched me grow and have taken as many notes as they could in the process. But I want to say this, though. If you're not praying to the Most High God, if you're not connecting with the Most High God, you technically are what you think everybody else is. Because one thing that I've learned from my research is every single other person, from Jesus to I believe like Buddha. All of that is a medium. All of that, you're praying to a medium. You're worshiping a medium. You're not connecting to the Most High God, because that's not the Most High God. That's an ascended master. If you look up ascended master is literally previous meaning people that are not no longer on this earth as we speak. If you look at if you worship an ascended master, you are worshiping a person that is not even no longer here, who was spiritually believed to be more enlightened than we are right now. And I'm not about to name all these people because it's that many, but I'm going to include it with this video so people can see that while you're so busy pointing a finger at everybody else, you should really be looking in the mirror and saying, I'm pointing a finger at me. That's why they say when you got two fingers pointing one outward, you got three pointing back to you. Ascended masters are not God. Ascended masters are people who found God and who left their teachings behind. That is an ascended master. They have ascended because they have mastered life. They understood how to connect with God through their experiences with their own lives. And they made a living. They found their purpose, and their purpose within this life was to enlighten other people during their lifetime to connect with God. So here we are in this so-called new age, and we're so fucking lost and confused. And you have so many people who are still lost and confused, who are still just judging people because they think they found the way. But just because you're moving from one ascended master to the next doesn't mean that you're better than anybody else. And I really wanted to take time to say that, because at the end of the day, we all in the matrix. I'm so sick of people trying to make it seem like they not a part of something. It ain't no escaping this shit. We all in it. It don't matter what you eat. It do kind of matter what you eat, but it don't really matter what you eat, because at the end of the day, too much of anything is not good for you. No matter what that is. No matter what that is. Even the most healthiest foods can make you sick. If you really start looking into shit and stop taking other people's opinion and just running with it, you will really understand a lot more about life and what this is all about. Everybody gotta find God, not an ascended master. Everybody gotta find God. And from my personal experience, like I've said before, people that have been on my page and who actually been listening to my stuff, because a lot of y'all, and I mean this respectfully, please stay out my DMs with the dumb shit. A lot of y'all will send me something that I already talked about. That's not for me. That's for you. That's not for me. That's for you. God is trying to connect with you specifically, not me. Like, I know what I'm here to do. I know how I connect with God. I shared how I connect with God. People didn't like me when I said that I pray to the Most High God. I told you a long time ago that I don't pray to Jesus, that I don't pray to no ascended masters. I just don't do that. It never resonated with me in my soul. But a lot of people who be in my DMs have never even listened to what I said. So it's very disrespectful to send me anything that you didn't even pay attention to what I said prior to now. We got to look in the mirror. We got to look in the mirror. And the best way that we can share ourselves is to share our reflections. Period. That's why my name is Real Queen Reflections. If you're not about to be real about yourself, with yourself, don't be real about yourself with nobody else. Because it's not going to be real. It's going to be fake. It's going to be fake. You're going to still be projecting. We're all going to project until we heal. Until we heal from a place of genuineness, until we heal and really truly understand what's going on, until we heal and realize that we are in the fucking matrix, whether we like it or not, we can't really talk about nothing. It ain't nothing to talk about. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's so many people that's just thinking, oh, I'm better than this one. I'm better than this one. I personally, I know people that label themselves as witches. I know people that label themselves as religious prophets and high priestess, and there are labels. And like I told y'all before, labels make you miss the message. So many people are judging people based on their labels that they're missing the message of God, to be honest. Because you can get a word from anybody. Why? Because God speaks to us whether we like it or not. Even if we're not paying attention to what we say in ourselves, God is speaking whether we like it or not. The label is an egotistical thing. The label is what you see yourself as. That's it. But the label what you label yourself doesn't make you more connected to God. That's not how this works. Like, God don't even speak English. Miss me with that shit. The real language is frequency. The real language is energy. That's what the universe understands. That's what universal God understands. We are humans. We are half gods and goddesses and half men. God speaks, moves, and directs through you. Anybody else outside of you is just addition to your own greatness that you haven't been able to tap into. But see, our ego and egotistical ways, honestly, are what is preventing us from the Most High God. I can't say that enough. And honestly, no disrespect to the people that are religious, but I feel like the religious people, the so-called religious people who think that they speak in for Jesus, are some of the most negative fucking people I've ever met in my life. And I don't mean no disrespect, but it's the truth. I've heard more so-called prophetic words from people that label themselves as witches. That's why I'm like, it's just a label. It's a label. And unfortunately, those who label themselves as witches but don't actually perform witchcraft are doing themselves a disservice to a certain extent, because everybody is just judging them because of their label. Just because somebody called themselves a witch doesn't mean that they are a witch. That's just what society has told them that they were because they do certain shit. Everything is a label, y'all. That's why I'm going to post this shit, because everything is a label, yo. Labels make you miss the fucking message. And that's just what it come down to. You need to be trying to figure out what God is trying to tell you. However you got to do that is what you got to do. But if you're not going to keep real with yourself, you're not keeping it real with you. You're not going to find yourself. Everything that people telling people not to do are things that they've done. Just because it didn't work for you don't mean it's not going to work for somebody else. Nobody has the ability or the right to tell somebody else what they can and cannot do. We all have free will. Just because you went too far into the darkness doesn't mean that everything about that is dark. People are scared of sage. People are scared of incense. People are scared of candles. Fire, really. You're scared of fire. Even people that dress, what are candles being dressed with? Oil, herbs. It's all about intention. It's all about intention. It's all about intention and understanding and clarity. Sage is a plant that comes directly out of the ground. The negative thing I've seen about sage is when it's being pulled by a person with bad intentions. I'm really irritated with seeing so many negative people, because they didn't understand what they were doing, judge other people and discourage other people from finding their way. And if you notice, a lot of these people that's telling y'all what to and not to do are only directing you back to them. You're not paying attention to the manipulation? Who is actually telling you how to connect with God? They telling you how not to connect with God. But who's telling you how to? Don't worry, I'll wait. Because I ain't met a person that was telling me, explaining to me how to connect with God. God spoke to me directly through me. And like I said before, pain is in the way. Pain is the only real true prevention from that connection. Are there spirits that walk this earth that we can't see? Hell yeah. I talk to a lot of people who've been underneath real type deep ass spiritual warfare. And they didn't invite these beings into their life the way everybody may think that they seem. Some people got surrounded by these beings without doing no type of so-called witchcraft. Those who do invite beings into their life, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Everybody can't be the same. We all here to do different things. Stop judging people. Stop fucking judging people. Especially y'all so-called Christians, man. That shit is disturbing me the most. Because unfortunately, y'all are the ones that discourage people from reading the book. And when you read the book has nothing to do with religion. Stop making it about religion. It has nothing to do with religion. The book is a tool. Sage is a tool. Incense is a tool. Singing bowls, that is a tool. Stop making everything that you don't understand dark and demonic because you don't understand it. Because that, to me, makes your ego dark and demonic. That's it. Your ego is what's dark and demonic. That's my opinion. It don't matter what the fuck. How you got good witches? Think about that. You got bad witches and you got good witches. You got bad religious people and you got good religious people. What is the difference? What would be the difference between the two? The only difference between the two would be your ego. Your ego is what makes you a witch or not. Which makes you dark or not. Not the label. The label don't mean a damn thing. You only hiding behind the label. And I'm talking to whoever I'm talking to. You only hiding behind the label. Because when truth speaks, people not ready for that. God don't have no label now. Y'all can miss me with that shit. Stop attacking people because you got whatever happened to you in the midst of you trying to find yourself. Stop attacking other people. This shit ain't right. Y'all don't want me to come back. Because when I come back, I don't have no friends for a reason. Because when I speak from my heart, I already know I'm going to piss people off. All you have to do to connect with God, the God in you, the goddess in you, is to get that fucking pain out the way. Because that pain is what's limiting you. When you get that pain out the way, you're going to realize you don't need no tools. You don't need nothing but yourself. That's how you truly discern between what's what. And then in that moment, when you know who you are, when you feel your feelings, when you feel your energy, that's when God helps you see clearly. That's when God helps you see more clearly. And guess what? You can't take your third eye off and put it on somebody else. Just because you see things differently in the moment, because it's going to continue to change. Oh, it's going to continue to change. It's going to continue to change. Just because you see things differently in the moment doesn't make you no better than somebody else. So if you're not leading with love, what God are you connecting to again? Specifically for these so-called Christians out here. God does not judge. Why? Because God, the God in us, knows the truth. How can you judge somebody and you was that same way? How can you judge somebody and at some point in time you was curious? If you lead with love and light on some real shit, you don't got to worry about throwing shade. You don't got to worry about egotistical things because you're frustrated. Use your passion. And then genuinely guide people. But when I see the ego speaking, man, I can't get down with that shit. I can't get down with that shit. I just can't get down with that shit. It's rituals every fucking day. If you watch TV every day after work, if you wake up in the morning, don't brush your teeth. Go to work, eat lunch, go home, eat dinner, watch TV. That's a ritual. Everything that you do every day to keep your spirit going is a ritual. So before you judge somebody else, judge yourself. Judge yourself. Because that's really all you're doing when you're judging everybody else. You're judging yourself. Stop projecting and start protecting your own fucking energy. Start checking your own energy. Stop worried about everybody else. Worry about yourself for once.